Hello, beautiful people of YouTube. As you can see from the title, today we are going to be talking about feeling uninspired and what to do when dreams that you once had, things that fueled your passion and purpose for life, have started to become routine and mundane, and you have started to feel uninspired and unmotivated. A lot of things sound great in theory. I think as humans, we are all very much thinkers and inventors and creators. So, naturally, we want to branch out into new career fields or start new projects or start our own business, whatever it might be. But what do you do when something you once dreamed of has now become mundane and lost a lot of its luster? What do you do after you start something that once fed you so much happiness and life? This is your brainchild, the baby that started as some crazy idea in your head that you made a million excuses as to why it would never work. But yet you decided to step out against all odds, not knowing if you were going to be successful, not knowing what was going to happen, not knowing what the next step was. You decided to do it anyway, and you were somewhat successful. You found success in your passion or your project. And this was no overnight success. You put your heart and your time and your love and your effort into this thing, nurturing it and growing it. And, word started to get out. People started to follow what you were doing. And it was no overnight success. You put your heart and your time and your nurturing into this thing. And things started picking up. Word got out. People started hearing about it. Moves started to be made. You were inspired. You were invested in this thing, investing time and energy and resources, because you're like, if I was doing this good without this thing, if I'm going to invest in, this now, imagine how much better I could be doing. But when you really start to invest, when you really start to believe within yourself that you were made to be doing this particular thing, that's when a little enemy I like to call fear starts creeping into the back of your mind. And suddenly, you don't feel as emotionally invested. You're juggling a lot of things. Life is getting busy. Things are being thrown your way. And now you're starting to realize that in order to keep this baby alive and somewhat thriving and successful, the amount of time and love and effort that has to go into it, that commitment alone is too scary to take on because you have enough on your plate. So now your brainchild, this thing that you wanted to start, is becoming neglected. How are you supposed to do everything else in your life, that you have going on, and handle all that and nurture this thing too? The entire emotion that drove the passion behind what you were doing becomes overwhelming. Ideas stop coming. Thoughts for, new ideas or new improvements are few and far between. And you're left holding this thing and looking at it and saying, do I quit? Or am I supposed to stick this out? Do I give up on this brainchild of mine because I seem to have lost all motivation and all inspiration to pull this off successfully? Or do I try to stick this thing out? Is it actual fear that's stopping you? Or is this life's way of telling you that you misread something along the way and you were never intended to do this in the first place? And now you're spending more time questioning if this was something that was, built for your purpose in life, or if this was just some fluke, some little dream that you started chasing that was never actually meant to become a reality. So then the question is, what do we do now and where do we go from here? I really believe that anyone and everyone has or will go through this, from parents to business owners. You want something so bad and you fantasize about it and you dream about it and you put these expectations on it, and then you actually start doing it and it becomes this job. It's not just like a fantasy or a dream anymore. Like, this is actually a reality that you have to put time and effort into. And now you're looking at it like, what do I do with this when I'm feeling so uninspired and so unmotivated? This is a pivotal season where we have to decide we're either going to throw in the towel or we're going to fight for this thing, doing the best we can to keep it alive. I think that it's okay to experience this lack of emotion, to look at something that we once wanted so badly through a mundane lens, because that's what it is right now. That's what you've created it to be. You have burnt yourself out on trying to maintain and work up this image and this dream that you have. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't be putting time and work into what you want, but the problem becomes when you are investing so much of yourself in the project and you're losing sight of why you even started it to begin with. What was driving you emotionally to begin with, and what was fueling that passion inside of you at the start before you got caught up in keeping it going. You've been so worried about feeding this thing and growing it that have you actually stopped and taken time to appreciate it for what it is and how you're building it? And is the rate that you're doing it actually sustainable to you and to this brainchild of yours? Is it fair to put so much of an expectation and investment in it when right now that's not what it needs? You know, down the road, yeah, maybe so, but right now you're supposed to be focusing on something different, and you're losing sight and losing track of that happiness and fulfillment that you got in the first place because you're sidetracked by all the other things that you're expecting of yourself and others are expecting of you too. We are also caught up in making it through another day, another week, that we've lost track of what it's all for. But I think that this is okay, that this is normal. There are going to be these seasons that we experience where your gifts and your dreams feel more like a burden than a blessing. I think we all need to not be so quick to leave something that we love. There are going to be these dry, unmotivated, mundane seasons in all of our dreams and passions. That job that you once wanted like so bad, right now it seems to kind of be dragging, and you're wondering like, why am I here? What am I doing this for? This is how I felt in my other job. What's the purpose of this? I thought this was going to be different. Or if you're even a parent, you were so excited to have a baby, and now there's just days where you're like, oh my gosh, I can't wait until the kid goes to bed because I want some sleep. We all experience like these rhythmic seasons where it's just like, I can't believe I wanted this because I'm so exhausted and tired of trying to keep up and maintain this somewhat thriving and successful pace in my life that it's like draining. But I believe that these seasons, if nothing else, they are a stepping stone into the next season that is even gonna make more sense and put you more into your purpose and give you more joy and fulfillment than even the current season. And you know, on top of it all, this is going to teach you patience and pace and humility. I think sometimes what is necessary to keep our brainchild alive and thriving is to actually work less, to think less, and to feel more and to talk more. Because sometimes inspiration is in the voice of another person. All those relationships that you suddenly didn't have time for, that the people that you had to kind of push off to the side because you were on your grind and you were going, those were the people and the voices that were actually feeding your dream. It's your dream, but those were the people that were placed in your life to help you be successful in not only, recognizing the purpose behind it all, but to also keep the tempo at, an upward pace, and to not let you get down on yourself or to get in this funk where you feel like you're all alone and you're doing it by yourself. Those relationships that you wrote off in, the sense of busyness are actually some of the most crucial. So stop being caught up on the lack of time and the lack of motivation, and instead start to reconnect with yourself and with others. Because more times than not, this is just a short season that's actually going to nourish the growth that you experience in the next season and rekindle the purpose and the joy and the fulfillment that you got out of your brainchild in the first place. And I just want to leave you all with this thought that dreams were given to us to steward well. And when we fail at that, the dream itself will feel like it's failing too. So guys, I just want to say, no matter what your brainchild is, no matter what your dream or your passion is, if you've started something and you're just in a season right now where you don't know where to go with it next, and you're feeling like it's more of a chore and a job than a passion or a dream, to really just try to stick it out and ride it out. Because honestly, I think a lot of the times right before like our greatest successes, our greatest blessings and miracles, we throw in the towel because it's too trying. Don't let anyone tell you different. You know yourself better than anybody. So stay true to you and hold on to those passions and dreams. If that's what you want, no matter what the season's looking like right now, just hold on to that. And I can guarantee you that it's going to make sense very, very soon as to why you're feeling so unmotivated and so uninspired. You might just need something else in life to jumpstart or reignite that fire that was initially in you when you started this project to begin with. So with that being said, I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I hope, if nothing else, you just know that you're not alone in feeling this. I want this to be relatable to people, and I really feel like we all as humans are going to or have experienced this feeling before. So with that being said, please be sure, if you like this content, to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you have not already. And also be sure to follow me on social media, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, popping up on your screen right now. And I will see you guys in about 2 weeks. Remember, vlogs are every other week now. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for taking the time out to watch.